I am not sponsored by anybody, so I've got no say, you know, this is all stuff that I bought with my own money for this use. So nobody's persuading me one way or the other. All right, y'all, welcome back to another one. So this is a video that a lot of you guys requested. So I drug everything out here, and we're gonna break down everything for the new coyote season. So a little backstory here. Last year I started posting quite a few coyote videos, and a lot of you guys were just under the assumption that, hey, he just started hunting coyotes, and that's definitely not the truth. Matter of fact, I've actually been coyote hunting longer than I've been trapping. It's hard to film, you know, to film coyote hunting. And not only that, you know, many of you guys know that I run coon hounds, and you know, so with the night hunting and the day hunting, you know, you kind of got to pick your hobbies in the winter, and basically the coon hunting kind of took the precedence over a lot of stuff. So I didn't film a lot of the coyote hunting. That being said, last year I lost my coon hound. He died, so I kind of got back into the coyote hunting scene there quite a little bit. I've always done it, but I really kind of really got back into it, really got into the night hunting again because I had more time since I wasn't coon hunting. So anyway, that's a little backstory. That's why you guys are seeing a little bit more of it. I'm gonna go ahead and I will get another dog in the spring. I'm gonna run this winter out. I've worked so much this year that I haven't had time to train a dog. So we're gonna go coyote hunting again this year. Hopefully bring you guys some pretty cool footage. But many of you guys asked for kind of a gear review of what I have, and you know, since I'd been coyote hunting for so long, a lot of my gear was kind of old, and I'm not going to say outdated because it all worked, but through the course of last year, I decided to kind of revamp my whole coyote hunting setup and kind of modernize it, if you will. You know, a lot of my stuff was 12, 15 years old, so yeah, I kind of come up with the times. And you know, whenever you go full bore into something, kind of like what I did with coyote hunting, it's nice to have you know, nice gear. So anyway, if you guys would be interested in seeing my old setup, because it definitely worked, leave a comment down below and I will do a video of, you know, the stuff that I used to kill, you know, a couple hundred coyotes with it, you know, over the course of the years. But yeah, I'll definitely do that. But this right here, this is my new coyote setup. This is what I'm gonna be running for this winter here. It took me almost a whole season last year and all the summer to get everything set up. So we'll jump right in. Like I said, I'm gonna go through pretty much everything. And we're gonna start off here. We'll start off with my daytime rig. So, you know, I've always night hunted coyotes. I mean, back whenever you had the spotlights that were like that big and you carried a car battery around and stuff like that. Now we got the thermals. So huge upgrade from there. But basically, I still have two different rigs, and I've always had two different rigs. I've had a daytime rig and a nighttime rig. So we'll start off here and we'll just go over my daytime rig basically. And I think that'll break it out pretty easy. So first things first, I built two new rifles last year just for this. I had, in the past, I'd used a AR platform for my night hunting, and I'd used a 243 bolt action for my daytime hunting. This year I went all 223 AR platform. You know, the biggest reason I switched was back, I'm talking like 10, 12 years ago now, you know, I wanted, whenever you're daytime hunting, you wanted to knock that coyote down with one shot regardless, and 243 would do that. Now, you know, that it's been a lot of time past and I've had an opportunity to kill a lot of coyotes and play with the ballistics and stuff. I've kind of got my bullets and rounds and everything dialed in to where I feel comfortable with a 223 round for my daytime hunting. Not only that, it's just nice whenever you can kind of go back and forth and you don't have to switch. So anyway, this is the rifle I built for my daytime hunting. I built this rifle up from parts and pieces. So I'll go over it real quick here. So starting from the lower, I've got a Stag lower. This is a rifle that I you know, bought everything and put together. I got a Stag lower. I've got a Gibbs upper. This is a non-reciprocating side charging handle. This is a really cool deal. In the past with my ARs, you know, you've always had the charging handle here. Here in Illinois, we've got to unload every time we move. So, You know, it's a pain whenever you're dealing with the scopes. These side discharge, there's these side charging handles here. They're out of the way of your scopes. I don't know, I just like them. I run a brass catcher on the side, so the right side isn't really an option for me. This is a left side side charging non-reciprocating handle by Gibbs. They're a very nice product, and they're based out of Arizona, I believe. But anyway, my first time using them, very happy with that. So that's the upper. Hand guard is a Prisma, just a pretty basic hand guard there, but it's got the QD mounts and it's got pick mounts all over it, so I do like that. Pretty lightweight setup there for the hand guard. For the barrel, I'm running a 16-inch Palmetto Armory stainless barrel here. And for those of you guys who's worried about stainless for daytime, trust me, if you're worried about that, you haven't hunted coyotes long enough. So running the 16-inch barrel. You know, I know a lot of guys run longer barrels. Me personally, you know, the shots I'm taking with this gun are gonna be 300 yards or less. And you know, 16 to 18 to 20, there really isn't that much difference whenever you're talking about that kind of range. We just don't have the range around here to stretch it out any further than that, which is another reason why I run, you know, a 223. That and the fact that if Illinois ever does decide to legalize suppressors, I'll be able to put a suppressor on it and still keep this fairly compact. You can see this gun is fairly compact as it is, you know, which is nice for daytime coyote hunting where you're walking in a good ways. So I've got a stainless sound forwarder on it right now, no brake, sound forwarder. This thing is loud, you know, and I don't want to be running a brake or anything. So, and like I said, Illinois, we can't run suppressors. So running a sound forwarder, it does a pretty good job, you know, at what it does. So that's the barrel. The back end here, this is a Fab Defense stock here. I got a little foam on there and just pretty basic everywhere else. So as far as the optic here, I'm running a Vortex. This is a 4 to 16 by 44. This is the Viper HS. Pretty nice scope, pretty compact, lightweight. It's plenty for this rifle. The one thing I like about the HS is, you know, because this is a 223, the HS is super easy for me to dial in. So I hate holdovers. I would rather dial. So, you know, I can look up here. I've got hash marks in where I've shot at distance, and I know I can turn to right there and shoot a coyote at 300 yards or, you know, 250 or whatever. You know, because coyotes, you got to be pretty precise with them, right? So you know, that's that. As far as my bipod setup here, I've always ran bipods on my guns. I like it for daytime hunting better than a tripod because, you know, around here, sometimes it's pretty tight what you're calling into. So it's kind of hard to swing a tripod around. A bipod, you can really swing around. So I've been eyeing these Swagger bipods for a couple of years now, and I went ahead and got the Swagger on this. I've been very happy with it. I've hunted, you know, quite a little bit with this setup, and been pretty happy with it. I got the basic model here, and then I fabricated my own folding version. They make a version that's like as long as your forearm, and it sticks way out, and you've got to retract your legs all the time. So I came up with this nifty little hinge design here. So I took their base model, and you can see, you know, whenever you're at stand, this is set the right height for me sitting down, right? And you've got enough movement in it. I mean, all you're doing is kind of, you know, just resting your firearm. But then whenever you're packed up and ready to leave, with the way the hinge is here, I've made this thing just swings right into your gun. I got a little twist here, and I don't have to mess with retracting my legs at all, and I can just sling my gun and then go on. If you guys would like to see a more detailed video of how I made this, I will do that, because I think it's pretty nifty here. It saves a lot of time whenever you're running from stand to stand. So Swagger bipod for that. Running a big winter trigger guard. It's cold coyote season. You want to have gloves. As far as the trigger, I am running this is a Rock River 2-stage trigger. I love the 2-stage trigger, and for the money, I like the Rock River. So, you know, I built this thing for coyote hunting how I wanted it. Like I said, I've had quite a few years of kind of figuring out what I wanted, and this to me is about the ideal, you know, coyote rifle for around my area. Like, I reload all my 223 brass, so I do run a brass catcher. This is a Cadwell easy catch deal. It just snaps right on. My old Rock River, I had one that you had to like Velcro on because I didn't have enough pick rail, and it was kind of a pain. This thing here, it just slides right on, right off, and I can actually interchange it with my night firearm there. So that's the daytime. Like I said, the stock's got QD mounts on the form and the stock, so it makes it pretty nice to walk around with. All said and done, with a full magazine, the bipod and everything, this thing weighs right at 10 pounds, so pretty manageable for what it is, even for the longer walk-ins that you have to deal with, you know, on your daytime hunting. As far as the shotgun goes, around here, you are a fool if you don't carry a shotgun with you for daytime hunting. It's just so thick, and you just need it basically. So I'd always carry just a regular semi-automatic. This year I decided to go a little different here. So I picked up this. This is a really cheap shotgun actually, but this is just a Radical. It's a Radical firearm, the NK1. It's like a bullpup design, but the thing I like about it is it's kind of set up like an AR. So whenever I grab it, it's a lot like grabbing that other rifle. It's short, compact because of the bullpup design. The safeties and the mag release are kind of set up like ARs, so it's pretty natural feel there. Yeah, I mean, it's just a shotgun, but I mean, kind of cool. I modified the stock so it'll only hold 2 rounds, you know, to be legal for 3 rounds. But yeah, that's the shotgun, running a full choke. So like I said, I would not go day hunting here, you know, in Illinois without a shotgun. I think I added this 4-inch grip. I mean, it comes up pretty quick, and you know, you can kind of maneuver it around easily. So that's the shotgun I'm running there for this year. As far as ammo, I'm running the same ammo for both my daytime and my nighttime setup. Like I said, I reload everything. So one thing about hunting with 223s is your ammo is pretty critical if you don't want to get runners. I've shot a lot of coyotes. I shot 66 or 67 coyotes with these 2 setups last winter, and I've shot a lot before. And I can tell you right now, if you don't want to get runners, you need to be shooting hollow points with your ARs. I know there's a lot of guys out there that'll shoot the VMAX and everything else, and you'll kill coyotes, but you will get runners. Hollow points seem to kind of take that away. So like I said, I'm reloading, but what I shoot is, I'm shooting a Hornady 55 grain hollow point boat tail, and I'm running like 24 grains of Varget. So that's a pretty good setup for me for the rifle, for what I'm running. And like I said, you really eliminate runners by shooting the hollow points. But anyway, as far as the shotgun, like a 3-inch BB or triple T or something like that, I'm running a full choke in the shotgun. You just want to put it out there and get as many pellets in them as you can. So that is the daytime firearm setup. As far as some other gear that I use for daytime, I had always in the past used a turkey vest because I could hold all my stuff, and it had like the flip down seat. It was just super convenient. I decided this year, I don't even know if the stuff was out back then, whenever I was buying all this stuff, but it always worked. So I upgraded to this new chair here. This is Sly Dog, made by Sly Dog. They're pretty cheap, pretty affordable, but it's got a little bag in the back that's big enough for your call. And it's got this flip down seat and these rods here that come out, and they actually make a backrest for you. So you don't even have to take the pack off, and you can sit down, and they've got some adjustability in length. I don't know, I've been very happy with it. Hunted with it, you know, several times there for daytime hunting, and fairly happy with that. As far as other things, I always run a lanyard, you know, for my call. I've always got, this is all homemade stuff here that I just made out of paracord, but a dragger here for coyotes. If you're dragging them a long ways, it's hard on your hands to grip them. This thing's here is real nice. You can hook it through noose and drag them away. So always have that with me. I I hunt with e-calls a lot. Back in the day, I almost strictly hunted with mouth calls. It's just cool whenever you call coyote in with mouth calls. But so I hunted with mouth calls back in the day, but I hunt with e-calls. I think you up your odds definitely hunting with an e-call, because you can put that sound away from you, especially day hunting. They just can't quite pick you up quite as good. I still always carry some sort of a mouth call with me. This is my old lanyard here. I always carry some sort of something with me in case you get out to a stand and you know, the batteries go dead or your deal screws up or something, and you don't have to, you know, waste the stand. So I always got something with me there, you know, as far as being able to make a call sequence, you know, after I've walked in. Not so big here in Illinois, but last year whenever I was hunting coyotes out west, having a bino harness and a rangefinder, you know, it's big open country out there. So I've got this this nice FHF gear, their bino harness, just real nice lightweight compact deal, just with like a set of 1042s in it. You know, out there it's big country and you're scanning a lot more. You can always do it with your scope, but binos are a little easier sometimes. I don't a lot of times take this with me hunting here because I can see across the 40-acre field that I'm calling at, but definitely nice out west. And then, you know, have a rangefinder too if you're wanting to kind of maybe take that 250, 300 yard poke at them out there. So that is kind of it for the daytime setup here. And so now we'll move into my my nighttime setup here. Before we do that, I think I'll talk calls real quick. So like I said, I got a variety of mouth calls that I've used in the past. But I do firmly believe you up your odds by e-calling, just because you can get that sound away. So anyway, this is my old Fox Pro Hammerjack. This thing is, I've killed a lot of coyotes and called a lot of daytime coons with this thing. Nice call. It's got the little fuzzy thing built in, you know, whirly gigs around. I think that's huge, you know, especially with coon calling during the daytime as well as coyote calling during the daytime. It takes their eye off of, you know, if you're moving or whatever. So I always run that if I'm daytime calling. But yeah, this is the Hammerjack. This thing has served me well, rechargeable. I got no problems with it. My biggest gripe with this thing, and it's because it's so old, is just the limitation on the calls that you can get with it. So, but it's still, you can see this compared to this Super Revolt, it's super lightweight. So this is always the call I'll grab if I'm daytime coon calling or something like this. I've never really had a problem with it. Not near quite as loud as the Super Revolt, but definitely a good call. I don't even think they make these things anymore. I don't think you can buy them, it's so old. But anyway, I did upgrade last year whenever I was out in Montana. One of the guys I was with, he had a Lucky Duck. It wasn't the Super Revolt, but he had a Lucky Duck, and I really liked the way it sounded. The vocals, and it must just be the horn setup here, which I mean, it is coming from this. This is kind of apples to oranges here. I know Fox Pro makes, you know, a bigger caller here. This is Lucky Duck's kind of flagship model here. This is the Super Revolt that just came out last year. I bought it as soon as it came out and got to hunt with it all late season. So I played vocals out of this thing for, you know, a good 2 months basically. And I really like the way the vocals come out of this call. It just sounds really good. The remote is super responsive, backlit. This thing spins and rotates. You can play 2 calls at once. I mean, it's our flagship model, so it should have a lot of bells and whistles. But it's got the built-in little flag on it. I mean, everything about it is nice. I haven't had any problems really with it. It does feel a little cheesier than the Fox Pro. Just the plasticky, it's got this rubber coating on it, and the plasticky does just feel a little Chinese-like. But I've hunted with this thing in the cold weather. I threw it in the back of the truck. I mean, I haven't had any problems with it, is what I'm getting at. But it does, just the feel kind of, it does feel a little cheesier, but man, does it sound good. And, you know, for out west hunting especially, this thing is crazy loud. It's too loud for around here. I think a lot of people, they go overboard on their volume, especially around here, you know, where it's, you know, kind of compact. But yeah, that's the Super Revolt. I've been very happy with it. I've killed I don't know, probably at least 25 coyotes over this call. Been pretty happy with it. Like I said, I really like the remote too. Pretty happy with that whole setup. So that's the calls. And then as far as other nighttime gear here, I'll get into. This is the chest rig by FHF. I would not go night hunting without this. This thing is awesome for night hunting. It keeps everything right here. And that's super important whenever it's pitch black dark, right? So I really like that. And I keep my camera, calls, just everything right here in that chest rig. I wouldn't go without that. As far as clothing goes, it's nighttime, it's winter, it's cold. So I use anything and everything that is battery powered. So generally I've got as much clothes on as I can still, you know, function with. But battery powered gloves, battery powered coat, just about everything, because it is cold whenever you're standing out there in the middle of the field. Boots, these are the liners out of some Norfin boots. The Norfin boots are like an EVA foam, and they don't hold up to our bean stubble around here. The bean stubble just tears that foam up, but the liners that come in these Norfin boots, they're warmer than my bunny boots. So I ended up just putting the liners in just a cheap pair of lacrosse over boots, and that seemed to work well. I don't poke through with the bean stubble. That bean stubble's hard in the wintertime walking across. A couple other items is I've always got a headlamp on. Just for whatever, you know, you need a headlamp, it's dark. I only run a 10-round magazine on both my daytime and my nighttime rig. I've never needed more than 10 shots. I'm not hog hunting, I'm shooting coyotes. I've never needed more, and so there's no reason to pack around that extra weight as far as I'm concerned. So that kind of leaves the nighttime rig. So this is my nighttime rig here. Once again, this is a kind of a custom up built AR. It's basically the exact same components that my daytime rig is, with the exception of the stock. This is an Odin stock here on this gun. The reason I went with the Odin stock is I'm running a thermal. This is a Pulsar Thermion 2 XP50, and I don't run a spotter. I only just run this scope. So I am scanning with this thermal the whole time. So that means, you know, the whole duration of the stand, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you've got your head down on this stock scanning. And you know, all the other AR stocks, they just don't quite have the adjustability to really sit there and you know, sit on it for 20 minutes without getting fatigued. This stock here's got all sorts of adjustability. I like it. Running the same forearm, same Gibbs upper, Hogue grips. I've got these are American Defense mounts on this thermal. You guys have seen I'm able to change this scope in and out between, I think you've got 5 different options in it. So I switch it out between AR and you know, 22s and 17s and stuff for coon calling. So very happy with that setup. I've got the same quick attach rail, so I can slap that Cadwell brass catcher on it. So that's the rig that I go to the field with here. This rifle setup, as it sits with the big heavy scope, weighs right at 10 pounds as well. So as far as the tripod goes, tripod, you know, for nighttime hunting, you need a tripod. I firmly believe you're not sitting down on the ground. You are getting as high as you can in as big open area as you can. You want to see that stuff coming with nighttime, whether you're running night vision, lights, or thermals, regardless. And I've ran them all. But you want to be high. You want to stand up. So a good tripod is definitely a good investment for this, and you can spend some stupid money on tripods. So as far as what I'm running, I went through a few different options. Whenever I was running night vision, I used to run a bog pod on my my old Rock River AR. It didn't have a pick rail on the form, it was a round form, so I used the death grip deal. It worked. The problem is you kind of lost the tilt factor if you were hunting in some terrain. So I've been around a lot of tripods anyway, obviously with just the filming deal, you know. Actually, you guys are sitting on an Integral tripod, which is the brand that I ended up going with here. This is an Integral brand. This is the, what is it actually, the model? This is the GT324C. It's a good enough sturdy tripod for a decent price is all I gotta say. This thing will hold up, you can see this, a 10-pound rifle. It's a 44mm ball head on it, and I can, you know, it's 10 pounds. You're just kind of supporting your rifle anyway. Very rarely are actually like locking it down in this manner, because I'm always swinging around, you know, and even my shots, I really rarely ever lock down. But nice textured grip on the ball head there, so where you can, you know, feel it with gloves. This thing is sturdy. It's very sturdy. I think it's got something like a 44-pound rating, but yeah, for the money, I'm pretty sure that there's only like 2 companies in China that's producing all the tripods out there. And, you know, this is probably the one company that's doing it, and they're shipping the rest of them. So Integral, like I said, I've had several of them over the years. I think I own 3 Integral tripods. You know, like I said, you guys are sitting on one. So that's, I've been really happy with that one as far as a nighttime shooting. It's light enough. It's not huge, but it's definitely sturdy enough. I use their cell phone adapter here that I've got on my remote, and I can screw my call right to the tripod basically, and then as I'm calling, I can sit there and scan and then kind of hands-free work my remote if I need to. So anyway, that is my kind of nighttime setup with the tripod. There's a lot more going on with nighttime than daytime really. But yeah, I mean, definitely the tripod is huge. So these Integrals are pretty legit. I mean, they're a legitimate quarter turn carbon fiber. I don't know. A lot of adjustability, and I speak real highly of them. Like I said, I'm using a whole of an expensive camera here. So anyway, guys, the sun is going down. I am losing daylight, but I thought you guys would enjoy a little gear review of what I'm gonna be running for this season of my coyote hunting, both daytime and nighttime. Hopefully bring you guys a ton of cool content. Like I said, if you're interested, I'm gonna put a ton of links down below to a lot of this stuff if you wanna check it out. So definitely go check out the links. So anyway, this is the setup that I'll be running this year. Like I said, I built this stuff up over the course of last year, so actually all this stuff has been used, you know, to kill multiple coyotes already, but this is just kind of, it's all together for the start of a season. I kind of built it all up over the course of last year. So anyway, should be a fun year. I'm super excited to bring you guys some cool content. Like I said, I've been tied up with the coon hunting deal, and you know, last year was the first time I could actually justify the purchase of a thermal, you know, to where I could justify the expense of it, you know, because I wouldn't be stuck with my coon hunting all the time. So like I said, very happy with that thermal. My ideas of the thermal may differ from yours. I had more of a video and thing in mind, so I was really all about the recording capabilities and the audio capabilities. That may not be something that you want. I know from running night vision that I definitely didn't want a cord either. I wanted internal batteries. So I get a lot of questions on that setup, and we can go into depth a little bit more if y'all have any interest, and leave comments down below. But I'm gonna leave it right there, y'all. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up if you did enjoy it. If you would like some of this awesome merch, go check out the link down below at Hoosier Trapper. You can get the hoodies and the t-shirts. So anyway, with that being said, y'all, pack this stuff up. As always, appreciate the view. Stay on it.